This morning feels so fresh. Perfect for a good Bible discussion.
Yeah, and today's question is a big one. Is God the same in the Old Testament and the New Testament?
I've heard people say the God of the Old Testament seems strict, but the God of the New Testament seems loving. But that's not true. God doesn't change.
Exactly. The Bible literally says in Malachi chapter 3 verse 6, I the Lord do not change. That's Old Testament.
And in the New Testament, Hebrews 13 verse 8 says, Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. So both testaments agree, God is consistent.
So if God doesn't change, then His love, His justice, His mercy, His holiness, they're the same in both testaments.
People forget how loving God is in the Old Testament. Look at Psalm chapter 103 verse 8. The Lord is compassionate and gracious, slow to anger, abounding in love.
And that same love shows up in the New Testament. John 3 verse 16 is the biggest example. God loved the world so much He gave His Son.
So God didn't suddenly become loving in the New Testament. He has always been loving.
And God's justice is consistent too. In the Old Testament, He judged sin because He is holy.
And in the New Testament, sin is still serious. That's why Jesus had to die, because God's justice required a payment for sin.
Romans chapter 6 verse 23 says the wages of sin is death. That's the same truth in both testaments. The difference is that Jesus takes the punishment for us and becomes the final atonement for all human sins.
I love how God shows mercy in both testaments. In the Old Testament, He forgave Israel over and over again.
And in the New Testament, Ephesians 2 verse 4 says God is rich in mercy.
So mercy isn't a new idea. It's who God has always been.
Another thing, God's plan didn't change. The Old Testament points forward to Jesus, and the New Testament reveals Him.
Isaiah chapter 9 verse 6 prophesied Jesus long before He came. That shows God had one plan all along.
And Jesus Himself said in Matthew chapter 5 verse 17 that He didn't come to abolish the law or the prophets, but to fulfill them.
So, the New Testament is the continuation of the Old, not a replacement.
In the Old Testament, God calls Israel His treasured possession.
And in the New Testament, 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 9 says, believers are a chosen people, a royal priesthood.
Same heart, same love, same God.
So the answer is clear. God is absolutely the same in both testaments. His character never changes.
The difference is not God changing, but God revealing more of His plan through Jesus.
And that makes the whole Bible one big story about one unchanging God who loves us.
I love that. It makes the Old and New Testaments feel connected, not separate.
Exactly. One God, one story, one plan.
Thank you for watching. Do not forget to share, like, and subscribe. Be blessed.